3 ways to boost your profits and build better relationships without compromising on your legal protection. Yes, tonight we are joined by the wonderful and esteemed Jay Razzouk, who's here to share with us his revolutionary framework, ProAct, a turnkey framework to boosting your profits and building lifelong relationships while protecting your legacy. Yes, you are scaling your business is growing, and or you're thinking about scaling or growing your business, but you are concerned about the legalities. If that's even a real word, that's okay. We just made it up here. Maybe it is. But ultimately, right, Jay Razzouk is here with us to share how ProSCALE Legal's methods and frameworks will remove the complexities and burdens that online entrepreneurs face when it comes to legal compliance. And Jay, I want to hear from you. What are the top mistakes that we are trying to avoid here? What are the biggest mistakes that, like, a client comes to you and you're looking at their legal things and you just shake your head?
Oh, I say number one all-time big mistake, and probably a lot we'll talk about today, is just addressing this one thing, is waiting too long to deal with legal.
There it is. Waiting too long. Well, if you're here watching this episode here this evening or in the morning, whenever you're watching, or if you're listening to us on the podcast, then you are in the right place at the right time. We'll be getting into more of the 3 ways to boost your profits and build better relationships without compromising on your legal protection with our special guest, Jay Razzouk, corporate attorney turned legal coach for rapidly scaling online businesses. But first, I know some of you are likely new. So before we get into nitty gritty of all different areas, first I want to say hello, welcome. You're listening to Entrepreneurship is a Marathon every Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube with yours truly, Vanessa Zami, also known as the Business Defibrillator. And I specialize in helping local community businesses revive, grow, and scale their business without burnout, sleep deprivation, or overwhelm, so that after 10 plus years of being in business, they can really seek to work towards living and being in that retirement freedom that they so wanted in the first place. The question that we always have in every episode: what has been your win of the week? What has been your win of the week? Type it in the comments below if you're watching live. If you're watching a replay, also type in the comments below what has been your win of the week. Jay, what's been your win of the week?
I don't know. I feel like it's still going. I will get some big things done this week, though. Like I've been.
What did you get done last week? Last 7 days. It could be personal or it could be business.
I mean, I guess I'm on the verge of the big win, which is I've been working on making a web-based version of my client agreement, so one that people can easily just roll out as part of the website. So it's just like streamlined, automated. You don't have to use DocuSign anymore. So I'm excited about that. Like this week is going to get done.
Oh, awesome. I'm excited for that too. Oh, actually, how did Jay and I meet? So first of all, Jay and I have known each other for a little over a year, actually. Well, actually, more than a year. I met him and his wife over a year ago. We were all in the same sort of program, mastermind group situation. And we met up, and I've used one of their like templates and contract agreements. So I was like, hit them up. And yes, and so we've stayed in touch ever since then. So I'm very honored and blessed and grateful to have ProSCALE Legal here with us this evening. And type in the comments what has been your win of the week. My win has been not only having you as a guest here this week, but my win has been we had a client, essentially one of my clients. She's been a client for about 7 months or so, but she referred, and not only did she refer someone else, but she also paid for that person to have a VIP business session, VIP like so 3-hour like these multi-hour situations, VIP day sessions with her hairstylist to help her in her 17-year journey as growing a salon, trying to build a salon, all that sort of jazz. And so not only did she refer the client, but she ultimately also paid for the VIP session for her friend, for her peer, for the person whose business that she actually wanted and trusted to make happen. And she knew that I could help her make that happen. And so the level of gratitude and the level of progression that person who like got that sort of complimentary session, just revolutionary for her business marketing, her personal development overall too. And so I just feel so grateful. That's my win of the week.
I personally can speak to the power of a VIP session with you. Like just a couple hours, you helped us knock out the name. Like ProSCALE Legal came from your help. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, you're right. Thanks.
That was your name.
Right. Thanks for that reminder, Jay. Thanks for that reminder. Yes,
We
yes.
spent months
Look at
trying
that.
to figure it
This was a great
out.
session, folks.
Just a couple hours with you is out. I mean, this is why you like calling you Zippy Zamey. I mean, you just get these quick wins.
Zippy Zamey, folks. It's his second nickname. Yes. First was the defibrillator. Second, Zippy Zamey. Love it. Love it. Love it. We are here this evening with Jay Razzouk, corporate attorney, well, former corporate attorney, turned legal coach for rapidly scaling online businesses and founder of ProSCALE Legal. A little bit about Jay before we go into the top 3 ways for you to boost your profits and build better relationships without compromising on your legal sanity. So about our guest here, Jay Razzouk is a corporate attorney and founder of ProSCALE Legal. He equips coaches, influencers, and mastermind leaders with the little known legal strategies and paperwork that they don't even know they need to scale to 7 figures and beyond. As Jay mentioned, people take too long, right? Too long to eventually get into their legal things and legal side of things, right? And so sometimes you take too long because you don't even know, but you don't know. And like most people, though, you know, the irony of it all, Jay doesn't like contracts either. This is why he's pioneering the ProAct, a turnkey framework to boosting your profits and building lifelong relationships while protecting your legacy. Drawing on his experience as a former Fortune 100 corporate reform attorney, Jay developed the secure scale method to remove the complexities and burdens online entrepreneurs face with legal compliance. Absolutely. Let that sit with you all. Jay is on a mission to take care of all the legal stuff for your online business so that you can scale with peace of mind. So, Jay,
that's right.
What are these 3 ways to boost profits and build better relationships without sacrificing legal sanity?
Well, I say first it boils down to understanding what the law is all about. And I think this could be important. Like, first, maybe we should talk about like why are we even not getting to the law? Why are we kicking the can? And this is something where I've really made a mission to try to figure it out, right? Because like, why don't I want to go to the dentist? Why am I kicking that up back? We know we need it, right? We know our teeth need it. Why do we do the same with legal? So I boiled down to like five false beliefs, and I think this will get into some of the problems or why we should actually be the reverse of it. We should be excited about legal. 5 false beliefs. 1, I can't afford it. Number 2, I don't need it yet. Number 3, I don't have time. Number 4, it will just make things worse. You know, it's going to slow me down, things like that. And number 5, it's inconsistent with who I am. My thing, like, I'm a nice person. I want to be kind, caring, compassionate, generous, and maybe getting legal is going to be counter to that. So let's talk about then, I think, 5 reasons we could get really excited about legal, and we could go in depth from there. So number 1.
Well, let's go to that 5th thing you mentioned where someone's like, well, I'm so kind and compassionate. Like, I don't want to go, like, legal is so, you know, scary monster. Like, if I just tell someone to sign a contract, they will like repel and OMG. Now we have, you know, conflicts and right. Exactly. I know ProSCALE Legal works with a lot of experienced coaches and consultants and service providers, and that's like the space that you work in. So let's chat more about that, right? Why, like, where does this come from? This idea of, because I know even when I started my business, I had the same thing. I was like, well, you know, I don't want to put the contract in front because then it's going to be all like, oh, she's trying to rip me off or she's trying to do something, you know? And yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly it. I think that is a major reason why a lot of us kick the can on legal, and it just seems so inconsistent with what we are. And I think that's where we have to really reframe what legal is. Like, if we back up a minute and we look at all the law, what is it trying to accomplish? And I remember this brilliant attorney, Phil Hiroshima. He said, you know, all the law comes down to just don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't kill. Everything, all these rules, thousands, millions of laws we have, they're just trying to get us to do basically these 4 things. And when you understand the principle of it, and I would boil it down even to just one principle, that's love. The law is trying to get you to love, but love has to be voluntary. So it quite can't take you all the way past the finish line. But if you are in that state of love, you really are caring about people, having concern for them, you want to see the best things happen to them, you're going to be in a state where you're going to have amazing relationships. People are going to love you, and they're not going to think twice about, suing you. Like when does someone actually go talk to a lawyer and ask for the help? Do they go, oh, I know you broke this section of the such and such a code? Or they, oh, I know they broke this line in the contract. Is that when they go speak to a lawyer?
Yes. Yes, right?
I don't think it is. Most of the time they just come and they say, like, I feel like I've been wronged. I feel like I have been taken advantage of. I feel like I've not been respected. I feel like, so at a very core level, we feel nobody will say this, but I think deep down they didn't feel loved and they experienced something counter to that. We have that core expectation to be loved. And in fact, that's the whole I think the whole meaning of life is just to love and be loved. If you take that out, there's no point in living. And so when we are contrary to love, when we are not showing that to people, that is when they get infuriated, feel incensed, feel taken advantage of, and they go speak to that lawyer. And so if you are in a good relationship, you're nurturing that relationship, caring for a person, right there's your best legal protection. And you know what now? You're aligned with the law. You're that person you want to be. You are creating awesome relationships. And you are even, I would say, above the law in a good way. Not the law doesn't apply to you, but you're just beyond what it's even wanting you to do.
Love it. Love it. Fantastic. All we need is love. Love.
Exactly.
Anyways. But yeah, love it. Love is your best legal protection. Oh, that's deep. Just let that sit with you all, folks. Love is your best legal protection. Love it. Okay, so I know you were going to go into essentially the sort of 5 or 3 ways, 5 ways, right?
5 ways.
5 ways. Yes, 5 reasons, 5 ways. Off to you. Yeah.
So these are 5 reasons why you should get excited about legal, and in fact, we just covered one of them. I'm glad you got excited about it. So number 1 why you should get excited is remember we said a lot of people think they can't afford it, but actually, actually though, legal can save you 10x what you invest in it. 10x. Maybe I could put up a slide here for that. So 10x savings, get more than what you pay for, and I mean it. If you would have spent $1,000, you could save yourself 10,000 down the road. It grows, your problems grow when you delay fixing legal. So you don't want to postpone it. Get ahead of it. Then you have momentum. I see this all the time where someone's like, I want to focus on my business, want to add this product, do this, to that. And then it gets harder and harder, just slow down and let legal catch up to you. There's times where, like, I've been a lawyer and I can't keep up with the pace that they're going. Then you want to be in a position where you're going to be better as a business, right? You want to make better business decisions. Legal helps you do that. It really does help you become more successful. You should get excited about that. And just even in terms of marketing, like Vanessa, maybe you could get excited about this. When you get legal, and let's say you want to register your trademark, you start learning what it takes to have a better brand, a more distinctive brand that will compete better in the marketplace. So there's a lot of these things that just legal coalesce with being an awesome business. And then that last one was the alignment that we talked about, where you could actually be that kind, loving, compassionate, generous self without compromises. And that actually is going to be your best legal protection, is being the person you want to be.
Being the person you want to be. And I think, so, like, as you said that, I think about, it's like another way to think about the love aspect is treat others as you wish to be treated.
Exactly.
Treat others as you wish to be treated, right? When it comes to just relationships, right? It's like, how do you ensure that you are, protected? Is think of it as less so that you're giving someone a piece of paper and a document, right? But it's one of those things where you would want them to be protected too. We all want to be protected, right? You're protecting not only yourself, but let's say you have a family and you have generations you want to pass your business off to, right? You're protecting their future as well, right? And so it's ensuring that you have that legal foundation in place. right, at the right time for your business, which there's no time like now. And so that you can really move forward in protecting that legacy. Now, because we talked a lot about relationships here, how does this help with boosting profits? How can this piece of paper, this or this online document, this automated system of legal stuff, just how can this contract help me boost my profits? It's probably what someone is asking right now.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I love answering that question. So, first and foremost, I see this all the time where business people, I think either one, don't launch their business or they hold it back. They intentionally grow slower and fear success because mentally they know they're not ready legally. Oh, I don't have a client, I don't have an agreement yet. I just have oral contracts. I got to be really careful. I got to grow slowly. When you have legal in place, you really have the confidence to scale and grow quickly. And law really does give you the frameworks and infrastructure to do that. So that's number one, how it helps you grow your profits. Number two, it does protect you. And it's not just protecting you from lawsuits. All the time, I hear of coaches who a client signs up, downloads all their content, says, oh, it's a terrible program, I want a refund, and then goes and forms a competing course with all the same content. Like, doesn't even change the pictures or videos or anything. I mean, it's the same exact stuff. Having that agreement in place can really help you, avoid that having to pay the refund, and help you also have even more options to stop that person from stealing your stuff. So it's right there, you protect a big value. Or when you have an independent contractor, someone's making stuff for you, you're making videos or writing things for you, writing copy. What if you learn that, maybe you messed up and they own that stuff? They have the rights to it, actually. The law, again, helps protect that. I love sharing the story about George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars. He did a lot just with oral contracts with people back when he was making the first film. And so he had this guy that, make the stormtrooper suits on an oral contract. No, it wasn't in writing. And 30 years, 40 years later, this stormtrooper guy finds the old mold for making the armor and needs money, and he starts making new legit stormtrooper outfits. And George Lucas tries to stop him, but loses because he didn't have that contract in place.
Well, hopefully that person made a lot of money with that armor. But yeah, so if you are worried, if you're listening, folks, and you're worried about a client stealing your online content, or you've been, working on this new program and you're just like, man, I hope no one takes it. Let me wait until I'm really sure. Or if you're finding yourself, you have been in that situation, right? Sometimes there are a lot of businesses, a lot of experienced businesses out there, right? Where you learn the hard way. The hard way being, you end up getting screwed over. And then you're like, I should now put a contract in place.
and usually the hard way, we're talking about thousands of dollars. Like, it's usually a very costly mistake. And if you go back and what would have it cost for that agreement? What would have it cost to just work with a lawyer? It usually will be less than probably the cost of the mistake.
That is true. That is true. Legal fees are not cheap. But there are ways, as Jay mentioned earlier, right, that you can still have affordable protection, legal protection, affordable and sound legal protection for your scaling business. So we are coming up on time here. So what is one key thing that you would suggest business owners really consider or do for this week for their legal matters of their business, right? So let's say someone is a, six-figure business owner. Maybe they're in the low, like 400K, like a recent client I just signed on as a wine bar, around 400K in sales. And let's say, she's been in business actually for 12 years, and she is looking to eventually retire in the future and build up her real estate investing portfolio as well, which she kind of already has some real estate stuff as well too. Now, this whole episode and Jay here is not meant to serve as legal advisor for you. Okay, folks. So keep that in mind.
The disclaimer. I forget to give that at times.
Keep that in mind. And so, but what would you say, like, can a business owner, a micro business who is, less than $500,000 in sales, small business owner, what can they do this week? Just one thing, one key action that they can take this week that you would suggest.
Might be a couple steps, but number one, figure out where, like, for example, what is your biggest risk? Your number one biggest risk. Like, if one thing went bad that would, have the most impact on you, identify that, and then think about taking steps to address it. Like, you have major contract or a major relationship, but no contract. Fix that. If your most important thing is intellectual property, you haven't done anything to protect it, to register your trademarks, deal with your copyrights, work with an attorney to fix that. Like, figure out that one thing that's going to give you the most protection, and move forward on that. And that's going to, or sometimes it's just getting insurance. Sometimes that's better than even forming a new corporation. So think of that one thing and act on it.
Love it. Love it. And if you need support on that one thing, Jay has a very special offer for us here on Entrepreneurship is a Marathon. So yeah, feel free, Jay. Describe it. Let us know what's the free gift you got for us here. Yeah.
So this actually is a good follow-up to talk about, like, what might be the one thing for you. We're going to be talking about, all the legal documents that and terms that a business owner is going to need to really be safe and secure. And these are things that are going to help you avoid paying a fortune in legal mistakes down the road. So it's the Leaders Legal Session. It's a closed session. That's on purpose, because I've seen, or I don't want to see what I'm telling people get out into the public. I don't want your clients to know this. I don't want your workers to know this. So it's closed session. So please, I'd love you to join me, the Leaders Legal Session. The next one will be Tuesday, July 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Totally $600 value, but we are giving you, because you're with Vanessa, a free access to this with the promo code HEART22.
Love it. Thank you so much. So say it again. So ProScaleLegal.com/session. If you're watching on YouTube, scroll to the bottom, hit subscribe, and then scroll to the description, and you'll see that link in there. And use the special code HEART22. If you're on LinkedIn or Facebook, then just click the link directly in the comments and use the code HEART in capital letters, HEART, the love, HEART22, HEART22, for a 100% discount on the Leaders Legal Session with ProScale Legal, Jay Razzouk. Love it. Thank you so much, Jay, for joining us here this evening. And I believe LinkedIn and Facebook are your two main platforms. Am I correct?
That's right. Love those. Right. So I'm the only one on them, as far as I know. So you can't really mess up and friend the wrong Jay Razzouk.
I used to be the only one. And then this year, some Vanessa Zammy started popping up.
Oh, no.
But that's okay. I'm still unique. I'm still special. I'm still different.
Exactly.
It's all good. But with that being said, thank you, Jay, for joining us here this evening. And remember, folks, you're welcome to use the code HEART22 for a 100% discount to the next impactful and informative and insightful legal coaching class, Leaders Legal Session with ProScale Legal and its founder, Jay Razzouk. Or if you're not ready yet, feel free to follow him on Facebook and LinkedIn. They have lots of great content online as well, too. With that being said, everyone, have a wonderful weekend. And I look forward to seeing you again on next week's episode of Entrepreneurship is a Marathon. Chat soon.